Well, good afternoon and welcome to another Lunch and Learn here with us, Action Coach in Birmingham. I hope you're having a great start to the week and it's good to have you with us. For those who are with us for the first time, you may be listening to us on Zoom, you may well be on Facebook or LinkedIn. Whatever platform you're on, please do give it a like. If you're with us for more than once, a second, third time, please perhaps love or comment or share the link. That'd be great to do that. This lunchtime, I'm really pleased to welcome Tosin Ajayi from Tosin Video Production. Good afternoon, Tosin. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Steve. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. I'm very, very well. We were just reflecting. It was pre-Christmas that we were last together, and it seems a long time ago now. But it's sort of where are we? Just the beginning of March, first day of March. There we go.
Yes,
The year is
yes,
flying by, isn't it?
yes, it is. It is. Totally is. Yeah. And I was actually listening back to that other one that I did, and I realized that, and this happens every now and then, I was speaking really quickly on that one. So apologies to anybody who was listening to that and had trouble hearing what I was saying. So I'm going to try and slow myself down. I'm going to imagine that I'm on some sort of like, sleep inducing drug or something like that. And that might make me at a sort of normal speed. But Steve, if I am speaking too quickly, please put a hand up or something, because even I thought that was really quick.
I certainly will, Tosin, and it's not saying just you. You know, we're all guilty of it at times. You know, when we're talking, and I think particularly as we've got used to talking over Zoom, we've sped up back to our normal pace, and it's really important when we're using. I'm sure you'll cover in a moment video and talking to people in a different platform to make sure we do slow down. But
Hmm.
I'm sure that over the last 12, 18 months of challenging times, we've all had to think about how we adapt and how we use different techniques in our marketing mix. And a video is really important as part of that. And today I hope that you'll have some light bulb moments as listeners to Tosin and myself and what we've got to share with you. You'll have some what I call BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. That's things that you may well be doing, you might have thought about doing in your marketing mix to promote your business that you haven't quite got round to, or you could perhaps do even better, take it up to the next level. And that's why it's great having people like Tosin come to talk to us about their area of expertise and how they can, guide us in owning and running our businesses to be not just the best, but to dominate, not just compete in our industry. So Tosin, last time we caught up, I was asking you then, this is going back before Christmas, how can videos grow our business and what benefit can video bring to any business? But I guess as we were hearing over the weekend, we're going to hear more and more of the phrase, restart or,
Yes.
reopen. They're going to be
Yes.
the phrases that are going to dominate our lives in business for the next 6 months, I'm sure, as industries open. And I guess my
Yes.
starting question for you, Tosin, is how can we maximize the use of video on that part of the journey?
Well, I think everything when it comes to video comes back to the fact that it is the most liked, shared, and commented on piece of media, that a type of media that you can put on social media. So I think it's depending on what business you have, because there are going to be some businesses that maybe they have physical locations and they couldn't open. And they're going to need to let people know we are open. We are going to be open on this day. For instance, I'm a member of a tennis club, and the tennis club obviously has been shut. And already there's a plan of we need to have a campaign that goes on social media with a video that tells people we are open, we're coming back, we're going to be open on this date. And I think that that is the number one thing, is because you need to get people to realize you are still here, because there's going to be a lot of assuming if people don't hear from you that, oh, well, COVID took that business, or, oh, yeah, they're not working anymore. I'm sure it was hard to keep, I don't know, that travel agency open when nobody wanted to go on holidays and nobody could go on holidays. So so I think the first thing is, because you need to let people know that you're there. You need to let people know that you're still around. You need to catch their attention. Video is the best way of doing that. So if you're going to be putting out a message, be it on an email message or be it on social media saying we are opening on this date, then you should be using a video.
I, I would have thought as well, in addition to everything you said, that it's also about building confidence, isn't it? Taking people on that journey from being closed down to reopening and what that looks like behind the scenes. And video is a
You
great way to
can,
do that.
yes, I mean, you can do that. I mean, if you the oh, the truth is that that's something that I would have been recommending for people to have been doing anyway. So
Yes,
if
yeah.
there's businesses that have been shut down throughout this whole period, share the journey, share the message, share the this is what's happening this week. So we are not allowed to do this, but we have been trying to do it. We've been getting this ready. I know, but I keep coming back to the travel agents because I think that out of most businesses, like things in the hospitality area and travel agencies are the ones who have been hit probably the hardest by this, because I know a travel agent who pretty much hasn't made any money for a year because all the holidays he booked had to be refunded, and he couldn't book any new ones. And so I'm thinking about that. I was thinking that throughout the whole thing, just share. And I know that they've been saying, "Oh, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going along. Here's a virtual event we're running." And I think you should have been doing that anyway, just to sort of share the journey. And if you have captured things throughout this whole period, this is a good time to sort of put together almost like a summary of what the last year has been like. And
Absolutely.
then you have like a video summary of what the last year has been like. And then you come to the point where you go, ta-da, and we're coming back to a high street near you, or something along those lines. This is a
Yes.
very good time to put something like that together.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea of sharing that journey, that vlog of the, what's happened month on month within the business. And the other thought in the back of my mind is if you have a premises where you're expecting clients to come along to, particularly hospitality or retail, a short video of how you've changed your processes, how you want people to behave, or how you want people to follow a system in your organization, your
what people
business.
can expect when they come in. What can people expect when they come in? I mean, nothing does that better than video. Full stop.
Yeah. So in terms of video, Tosin, I mean, there's video in this video. I'm sure you'd. I'm also have to say I'm intrigued as to what's being built in the background of you. It's I presume you're not having a home renovation right now.
No, it's not a home renovation, but this is something I work with construction clients, and this is one of the kind of videos that I do for them, which are time lapses. Because I think the fact that it's caught your eye, kind of, thank you for helping me prove my point about video. In that things like this catch the like, imagine you're on your social media feeds and you're scrolling past, something like this catches your eye, you stop and you go, "What's that?" And so this is something I do with construction companies or anybody who's building something or constructing something or crafting something. That if you have a time lapse, it actually helps people. Let me see. I'll see whether I can get you guys to actually see this better. Yeah, if you have a time lapse, it actually helps people see what it is you do, understand what it is you do in a short space of time. And I think if you build a house, you make a video, and for 10 years, this video is going to get you business because people are going to keep seeing that video and going, "Oh my God, they're exactly what I need."
I love it. Love it. And you've got me thinking now, videos I've got in my saved on the computer here of, workshops and webinars we've done in person. And perhaps that could be playing in the background instead of this action coach background, but who knows? I'll have to do what I call in my business, Tosin, test and measure, and see if there's a difference in the engagement levels.
Yeah, it's exactly what I did with this. I put it up and I put it up, leave it in the background and see how many people I'm on a Zoom call with who comment on it. And it's a pretty high hit rate. It's kind of like a 95% of people I speak to on Zoom calls comment on the background, which means that then I get to tell them a little bit more about what I do.
Yeah. But I also love the idea of doing a slow, sort of time lapse, if you called it. So, if you are changing the client, the retail environment or your hospitality environment, or changing the way in which you work, just capture that on time lapse. But it's all very well with me saying here, Tosin, capture that on time lapse. But for some people, including myself, to be fair, where would I start? What would I do?
The phone in your pocket. It's what I always tell people. So I think the phone in your pocket, especially over the last year, people have started realizing more and more how powerful the phone in the pocket is if we didn't know that already. So the phones in your pockets have great cameras. And this is where I always tell everybody, you're talking about test and measure. I'm like, if you're going to start anything with video, there's no need to go out there and spend a whole heap of money. There's no need to go out there and get this camera and that light and start it with the phone in your pocket and see if people respond. If people do respond, then maybe you might want to make it look better. And maybe then you might want to get someone like me on board. But I think it's because time lapses, slow motion, all these things can be done with the phone in your pocket. Every phone will have a setting to do a time lapse. You might need to get a tripod or anything like that, but quite frankly, it is possible. So I always say, go out there and start with a phone in your pocket. But okay, well, you have the equipment. But the thing I would always go back to first is I would say it's the script or the idea of what it is you want to say. Have something to say, and then get the phone out. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share my screen.
You should be able to. Yeah, by all means, share your. I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I will. And this is something that I shared the last time. It's something that I shared the last time, and I'll just share again.
There
So
we
in
go.
there, yeah, you see, it's why bother using video? And this is something that I talk to people about, and it's just a couple of things about why you should actually bother using a video, and it's
This is great.
yeah,
This is new content to me, Tosin. So I've not seen this before. That's great.
really. Oh, I was pretty sure I shared this the last time.
Ah.
Anyway, brand new content that I made fresh just for you, Stephen. So it talks about the impact of video, or why you should bother about it. So it says you cannot run from online video. As a marketer, small business, it's time to embrace it. And like by the end of 2020, 85% of internet traffic was video. Video was shared more than any other kind of content. YouTube was second largest search engine in the world. Instagram engagement was 15 times higher than Facebook engagement. Instagram videos can create double the engagement as photos. And 33% of tablet owners watched about an hour of video on their devices every day. And video and email, which is the old daddy of marketing now, but still effective, can boost open rates by 20% and increase click-through rates 2 to 3 times. So this was things I was telling people. That I had this slide even before COVID happened, but then how COVID changed things. It was studies show 80% of consumers have consumed more content since the start of the coronavirus outbreak than they did before. That is it. Yeah, well, you think, well, duh. Yeah. And what's more, video is the type of content they want. This is all these quotes are taken from a Forbes.com article called making video an effective part of your COVID-19 marketing strategy. So pretty much what you were talking about, Stephen.
Absolutely.
And by the end of 2020, okay, the average person would watch 100 minutes of videos content per day. If you remember the former slide, it was an hour.
That's a huge amount, isn't it? Huge amount.
It is a huge amount. It's a huge amount, and it will be random things where people are dipping in and dipping out and jumping up and down the place and not. So
just for clarity, that's not including your traditional TV video. This is video content on a device or on a social media. Is that fair to say?
I would say that this is talking about devices, and once it's talking about watching on a device, then it means that it goes away from your traditional TV content.
Yes,
because 100 minutes of, I'll bet you that most of that 100 minutes of content is YouTube.
Yeah,
it is YouTube. It's random things. It's short 1 minute videos, 90-minute videos about different things. And so people are hungry coming for content. They have time to consume it, and they're in a space, most likely their homes, where they're free to consume at will. Now, going back to your question about how do you start about this? First of all, I just wanted to say I like to go from the why. It's like, why should you even bother making a video? This is why you should bother making a video.
This is your why.
This is the why you should bother making videos. And people often tell me things along the lines of, oh, but I don't, what I do isn't particularly visual, so I don't think anybody's going to want to see that. And people get also like, self.
And I guess the choice
about that.
The choice of content must have, hugely increased during the last 18 months with lockdown as well. I mean, myself being an example, we're sitting here going live on Facebook and LinkedIn, and also it'll be on YouTube later on. That wasn't available 18 months ago. We didn't do it. And we are one of many thousands of organizations that are turning to video, not just promote, to promote and marketing, but vlogs, interviews, online content. It's all there, isn't it, to be consumed now?
Yes, it is. It is. And what I want to do is, one of the things I want to talk to, or for those of you who might be watching this and who are thinking, well, I don't have anything to film. My business is not particularly visual. Oh, I don't know, I'm an accountant or something like that. All I do is sit in front of a computer all day. What am I going to film? This is something that I like to show people, because this is the top 10 categories of videos that are watched on YouTube. This hasn't changed. And what you find is in the top 10 of these, all of these is somebody sat in front of a camera talking like we are now. Absolutely. So it's nothing fancy. It's somebody sat down here and going, hello, welcome. Today I want to talk to you about blah, 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 blah. And this is why I think it works for every single business. It works for every single business because the reason you are in business, the reason you have a business is because you know something that other people don't. And that is why people will come to you. That is why people will pay you, is because you know something that they don't. And people will sit down to watch you talking about what it is that you do know. And even if it's just a little bit of advice that you give or anything, which is why I say, if you're in a business, and as long as you know you've had clients at some point in the past that you know your business is viable, then there's something that you have that people want to hear. So sit down and talk about the thing that you know about. And I think you have that, you have the knowledge, you have the content, because people care more about what it is that you're saying than what it looks like, especially now that everybody's at home. So you have the content, put the content out there, you have the equipment, which is the phone in your pocket. And then I'll just say the other thing I will say is just make sure that you have a clear idea of what it is you want to say, which is a script. And for me, that is as basic as having bullet points about, I want to say this, I want to say this, I want to say this, and you're good to go.
And just for the benefit of any listener who hasn't had familiarity of videos before and doing videos, what would you describe a haul video as, or an unboxing video?
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. So haul videos are essentially, with this, I think I should say, first of all, when it comes to businesses, I think that the most pertinent ones for most businesses are number one, product reviews, number two, how-tos or tutorials, number three, vlogs or video blogs, and number nine, educational videos, doing something a little bit educational. Haul videos might work for your business, but that becomes very specific to whatever kind of business you're in. So a haul video is when somebody goes on a shopping trip, or goes to a show and then comes back in and goes, oh, here's my haul. These are all the things I bought, and opens up the bags and says, I bought this from this store, I bought that from that store, and shows you their haul. That is what a haul video is. And the unboxing is when a new iPhone is released or something, and then somebody comes back home, has a video of the box and says, here, I've just got the new iPhone and I'm going to open the box and show what it is. And essentially they're sharing I can get cynical about this and think that it's quite silly, but what they're actually doing is that they're sharing the experience of the first time that they hold this thing with you, which a lot of people, as you can see, number 10 most popular category of YouTube video, it's a lot of people are willing to share that experience with you. So it could be you get a new piece of machinery that's going to help you, I don't know, crafts, and this is just because it's in my head, from a lady called Rachel Akers, who is an artist. I'll put some stuff up on LinkedIn.
Yes, I know Rachel. Yes.
Yeah, you know, Rachel, yeah. And so it's going to help you craft, like, metal roses. And you have this new piece of equipment, and then you do a video that shows, and here it is, we're taking this thing out, and I've been waiting for this, I don't know, lathe or solder iron or whatever for ages. And even putting those videos up there, people want to share their experience with you. So might as well.
And just to turn that on its head as well, Toes, and I have one client of mine, I don't give details away, but I have one client who they've turned that round, and instead of unboxing, they're doing packing up. So they're packing up clients' orders on video, and then so the client can either watch it being packed up, or other people can watch the order being packed up and then see it being shipped out. And it's just doing the other end of that process, which is generated more views for them.
Yeah. And it's even, I mean, for the clients who you're packing it up for. And I think this is why I think one of the things I do when I go with when I get into working with a client, is trying to figure out what are the different aspects of their business, and then where are the opportunities. And something like that's a massive opportunity. Film the packing up. It gives an excitement for the person who's ordered something, going, oh my God, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Ah! It gives that excitement. It gives more connection to whatever business it is that you're running, or whatever brand it is that you run. So I think, find those elements where there's different things that you can film and put the content out there, because as we said, video is the kind of content that the world wants right now.
Indeed. No, I just love the way that I've been flipped around, and I think I guess the content is as far as the imagination can go. It's finding new ways and new ways to engage with prospects, isn't it? And to demonstrate either how you do something, or what you produce, or what service you offer.
Yeah, or something about your business that other people might not know.
Yeah, indeed. No, I love it. Absolutely. There's so many opportunities there for every business owner, and to grow the business. So we've talked about what the content could be, Tosin. What would be the best way about doing that? You talked about the phone in your hand.
Yes.
Any tips or suggestions on how we could the first time or how we can improve our video quality and videos that we put out there?
Yes, I mean, this is one of those weird things because I think when it comes to videos, I actually think it's playtime. It's like playing. It's the way I got started. It was by playing, and then after a couple of years, somebody goes, "Oh, I want to do a karate demonstration video. We'll pay you." And I'm like, "What? You can get paid for this?" So I think that there is a certain amount of playing to do, because it's like it's so, as you said, you try it out, you try it out, you see what goes, you see what the response is, you tweak it, you move it back. But when it comes to, generally speaking, the let's see, I've got a slide here somewhere. On this king, fear the beast, what you can do yourself. So when it comes to making videos yourselves, this is essentially my checklist of things that you should think about or worry about or have in your mind. And so this is like a script. You can see a little bit of of what I say about these things. How I've said it already. I cannot stress the importance of a script enough. If you are going to film something, and when I say script, I don't mean every single word you're going to say. I mean, I think it's just what you're going to do. What is the point of this video? What do you want people to come away from it? So if you turn on the camera and you don't know what it is you're saying, you will just either waffle or freeze up or not have a clue what it is, and it would be a video that is not worth watching for anybody, be it yourself, be it whoever it is, your targeted audience. So sit down, and I always say, have a heading that says, "Hi, my name is, and I want to XYZ," and then have 3 bullet points about what it is you want to talk about. You know what your topic is. Have your introduction, have 3 bullet points, tell people to get in touch. That is that for me is have that and know what it is you want to say before you turn on the camera.
I think that's a key point, Tosin. I mean, I've seen videos and you know, talk to clients. It's getting that balance right on the script, isn't it? What you don't want is somebody sitting here reading word for word and not having the engagement. So it's having those points you want to get across, but then making it your own and being yourself on the video.
Yes, yeah, and I think the other thing is that it will probably take some time. I mean, every single one of us who's made a video, you go back years later and look at the first video you ever made, and there will be a cringe. There will be but what happens is you can't wait and try and get things perfect before doing anything. I would say just make something, put it out there. And it's only through that process really that you figure out what's better, what's worth, and what really works for you and how you are going to present it. And it's only through doing that it comes up. But as I can say, you have scripts, use the back camera, get a tripod or something to hold the phone steady. You can get clamps. Like, for instance, I run workshops, like a 1-hour workshop with people on Zoom, where in that hour, we will find a location in your house that has good enough lighting to actually make a good video. I'll talk you through the framing. I'll do all that sort of stuff, so that by the end of that hour, you are good. And it's like, good, fly my pretties. Now go make videos. that sort of thing. And instead of having a tripod, what I do is I send out, as part of the workshop, I send out a clamp. So it's a clamp which you can clamp to the edge of a table, to the back of a chair, to a baby's cot, I think I did a video the other day where I clamped it to the chest of drawers. So because it holds the phone steady, but at the same time, it gives you flexibility over where you go. So tripod or clamp would work quite well. The lighting, the biggest thing I would say on that when you're starting off is face a window. When you're filming it, face a window. Do not be in front of a window. As good as that might look to the naked eye, that is not your friend. Do not film in front of a window. Face a window. Film it when you face your window. The sound is the secret weapon of video. Make sure that you actually have good sound. I would say get a good microphone. Stephen, I know that after the first time I did one of these, you went and bought yourself a microphone.
Yes, you cost me a lot of money over the years. I have got this this Rode microphone now. I've also been and bought a tripod. I've been and bought lighting. You name it, Tosin. You've cost me thousands. No, not quite thousands, but it's true though. You don't. I guess you don't have to spend thousands. I shouldn't say that. You can spend hundreds, even 100, and get some really good equipment to do some videos.
Yeah. Get something to do some videos. But I think it's only. I am one of the things I do with my clients is a lot of what I do with my clients is about I don't think, I think that there's a lot of money that can be wasted. And I personally really, I think my number one value in business is to help. And I think probably my number two is I hate waste. I, I hate it when you buy something because that you don't know it's going to work yet. You don't know what you're going to do with it, but you buy it because you heard somebody say, hey, maybe you should go buy this thing. I don't like that. I'm always more of a, look, take your phone. Don't tell yourself that, oh, I've got to go make some money before I can buy anything, before I can. Just take your phone and start doing something. And then you yourself will start realizing, okay, cool, I've looked at this. I need better sound. Get a microphone. I don't have a place that has good enough lighting. Get a light. But for me, don't go out there and spend a whole bunch of money and then sit down there with all this equipment that you don't know what you're going to do with. It's kind of like going back to the whole writing a script thing. Know what you're going to do before you turn things on. And I would say start off with the phone. And after a while, you yourself will realize this isn't, I need more.
And I think from my own experience over the last 12 months, Tosin, I would say that most of us, and I can talk for myself certainly, like listening to the sound of our own voice, and we'll never get the perfect video in our own eyes. We'll always think it's not good enough, but actually sometimes just got to go with it, because otherwise you'll give yourself an excuse never to put that video online, never to use it. We are our own worst critics, and sometimes we just need to go with it and trust that it will get some traction and it will have a good impact, because it will, I can guarantee it. But don't try and be the perfectionist and make want perfection before you put it out there.
Yes, I agree. Because I think quite frankly, putting it out there is part of the process of making it better. So if you never put it out there, it'll never get better. So that's just my personal take on it.
Yeah. But and sound is so important. I've got my children here homeschooling Tosin for the last week, hopefully ever, as much as I've loved them having them here. But they're in the lounge. But I was doing a video with my daughter a few weeks ago, and there was a building site opposite where I live. They're building new homes, and trying to get the sound was
they should time lapse that.
Yeah, well, I should. I am taking a photo every day. I'm not doing a video, but I am taking a photo every day just to, maybe I can sell to my new neighbours when they move in. But but the sound is so crucial, isn't it? I did this video and just didn't think about the building, the digger that was going past at the time, and it's really important just to get your sound right as well as your light and everything else.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the thing I always say with sound is, I think you will much rather watch a badly shot video with good sound than you watch a well-shot video with bad sound. It's because I'm going back to the whole idea of what it is that people are looking for in this content. We said that people are looking for content. They are not particularly looking for what it looks like, unless they are looking for what is being said. They're looking for the information. And as long as they can get the information. And so when you're making a video, I would say, take away everything that will stop people paying attention to the information you're talking about. So if people can't see your face, it will take away from the information. If people can't hear you properly, it'll take away from the information. So just think about it. Make sure people can see you properly. Make sure people can hear you properly. Those two things are probably key. And then the rest of it just becomes extras that have varying levels of effect on how effective the video is. So things like location, framing, all that.
Brilliant. And in terms of, you've got the word editing up there, Tosin. I don't know if you're going to go into that in a bit more detail. I got a question from Claire. She's just asking, what is the best way to edit a video made on your phone? I don't know what phone she's using, but is there any recommendations, Tosin, on what would be a sort of a beginner's software, maybe an intermediate bit of software?
A beginner software on your phone is an app called InShot. So InShot. That's a beginner software. So when I do workshops, and if people want to go into editing, that is what I would start with, because I know most people are going to be filming this video on your phone, and the video is never going to leave your phone. So you're not going to take the video, put it onto your laptop, and then go find some software, and it's going to be on your phone. It's never going to leave that place. So with InShot, you can do basic editing to it, and then send it or upload it online. So what I do when I do the workshops, that's what I will train people in, because because I know that's the way it works with the way people are at the moment. You're using your phone, that's what you're going to use.
Brilliant. And
But
is that a bit of free software, a free app?
it is a free app, yes.
Right. Well, one of these ones, I guess, it has in-app purchases, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
probably has in-app purchase or has like upgrade versions of what you can do other things. But in short, generally speaking, is a free app. And I would the and but also with the editing, I'm not sure exactly what Claire is thinking about when it comes to editing. Whether she's thinking just about cutting the top off and cutting the end off, that can be done on your phone already. Because if you're trying to just trim it a bit, it can be done on your phone. Like sometimes you might have noticed when you try and send a video on WhatsApp, WhatsApp actually gives you the option of, do you want to trim this thing down before you can do it? But the same way when you go to your phone's gallery or photo app or whatever it is, and you choose edit for a picture, if you choose edit on a video, the first thing it will give you is, do you want to trim this thing down? So if you're thinking about, I have a video and I don't want to do much to it, and all I want to do is I just want to remove the bit at the beginning where I'm sitting on there going, hello and welcome to the, and I want to remove the bit at the end where I go, okay, where's that button again to stop this thing? And if that's all you want to do, that you can do on your phone already. All phones come with that capability. Just go to the video, click on edit, and then you can cut those off. If you want to do something a little bit more involved, like put captions on it or anything like that, then I think InShot is a very good place to start.
And if somebody wants to move up to the next level, Tosin?
If somebody wants to move up to the next level, then I think you have to go onto a laptop. There is, or a computer. There is an app. If you're on a Mac computer, an Apple computer, there is a piece of software called Imovie. Imovie, that's how I started. It is really, really basic. It is really, really clear. It's put your music here, put your thing here, and that's it. It's really good. It's pretty easy to do that. It's harder if you're on a Windows, because Windows keep changing their offering for video editing. There used to be something called Windows Movie Maker, then they updated it, and then they moved on, and then they went to Windows 7, then they went to Windows 10, and it changes. So where there's a piece of software called Filmora. So that's Filmora, Filmora. And that is really, really good basic editing software. You can pay on it. You have to pay for that either for a year or on a monthly subscription model. But it's something that you can play with. It's probably, I think, about £5 a month or something. You can play with, you can try and figure it out, and you can see if there's something you want to do. However, the reason why editing is at the bottom and is that this has to come with a big flashing red warning neon sign. Editing is a time sink. Most of the work with making videos comes in the editing phase. And it is not unheard of to take a day to make a 1-minute video. And if you think about a day, we're talking about, I'm going to be like 8 hours. Think about what else you could be achieving in those 8 hours. So if you surely cannot, let's say you have if you're watching this, I'm hoping that it is like because you have a business or you're thinking of running a business. Think about what you could do for your business in 8 hours. And is your time better spent doing that thing than it is spent making a video? And this is why I usually tell people that, honestly, not just because I'm trying to run a business myself, not just because I'm trying to make money and support my family, not just because of that, but because I genuinely think that when it comes to the editing, you are better off, if you're running a business, you're better off filming the content, sending it to somebody like me, and I will edit it, because that will be the quickest way of getting your life back.
I completely agree, Tosin, and not just because you're here, but I would say the same. I've said the same with other Lunch and Learn guests. Claire, who's with us last week, as small business owners, we're often the head of marketing, head of HR, head of production, head of finance, and time is valuable. And so it is understanding what is, how you can maximize the time in the day and where you can add most value in your business. And often video editing, social media, HR, they're all areas of business where there are people around us to support us as small business owners. And actually it is about getting that balance right between doing something yourself and reaching out to those who can support you in your business, and understanding that, to get the perfect video is going to take you a long time. And is there any such thing as a perfect video, Tosin? I don't know. There's always room for improvement, as my kids hear me tell them often. But it is about, deciding when your video is good enough to get it out. And I think getting external support can be a big part of that.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of, okay, if there's such a thing as a perfect video, one, no, there isn't such a thing as a perfect video. There's videos that are effective and will do what it is that you want them to. Are there things you can do to them to make them more effective? Yes, but you just need it to be effective enough. So with almost every video that I work on, I think there's always this place where I feel like I just stop. And I know this is something that's been said. Even people who make big Hollywood blockbusters and all that, like some of the best filmmakers in the world, they will tell you when it comes to videos that you never finish working on the project. You just stop. So so if you think of your favorite film and you speak to your go speak to the person who made your favorite film, they will probably tell you, yeah, there's things I watch and I'm not happy about because I still think I could have changed that, I could have done that, I could have made that better, that could have worked better, but I had to stop because there's no end to it.
I can back you up on that. I was watching, my children have been doing Titanic as part of their home schooling, and there's a great program on TV at the moment called Titanic 20 Years On, and it's James Cameron talking about how they filmed the Titanic film, and he talks through all the things he wished he'd done or wanted to do but didn't have time to do, and and it's a great example. As you say, he had to just stop, otherwise the film would never have got out into the cinemas. But he's reflecting on the process of making that film. So I'm not promoting that particular film, but if you're interested in what goes on behind the scenes, it's a great little 1 hour documentary, and just seeing it from a as you say, a blockbuster movie maker. What's the right word? Production.
A world-class director,
that's the word I was looking for. Seeing it from his perspective. But you're absolutely right. Whether you're making a small movie for or a small film for your business, you do just have to stop and get it out there.
That's what I would say.
I've got a question from Sandeep, and you may well just be about to cover this, Tosin, but she's saying as they start to reopen her business, she's in the hospitality sector. How would they change the way they use video? And she's sort of saying that everyone clambered to use video when they first went into lockdown. Is that always going to be the same going forwards?
Well, I think that this is we were talking about it, and I think we've all had an existential moment in the lockdown or in the pandemic, and asking what things have changed that we are going to keep, and what things are we going to go back to doing when we can leave our houses again. And I know, for instance, for me, this whole thing has made me think I'm done with driving 45 minutes for a half-hour meeting for business that I might not even get. So for me, I'm like, no, forget that nonsense. I'm not driving up and down the country anymore. Essentially, if I'm in my house and I'm getting my car, it's because I'm going to make money. And I think it's something similar with hospitality business. Like, the hospitality business has been hit hard. Hit hard, and a lot of what you're going to have to do is, I think, when it comes back, you're going to be jostling for space. You're going to be jostling for space to say, we are the ones who are going to survive this sort of big Hunger Games type thing that's going to happen with hospitality businesses. And when you talk about using video, it goes back to, yes, I think using video would help you, but what are you planning to use the video for? That's the kind of thing where I would I'll probably sit down with somebody for an hour and say, what are you actually thinking? What are you planning to do in the business? And I think it's about sharing the story. So what's happening when you guys are reopening? What are you doing? How have your processes changed for cleaning rooms, for having people to check in? These are all areas that you can just be shoving content out there, talking about how you are taking this reopening seriously and how you are going to make sure that people are going to be the absolute safest when they come to your venue, but at the same time, they're going to have a heck of a good time. And you can just keep putting all these things out there to communicate that. You can just keep shoving all those things out there because when I think about it, because when it comes to video, a lot of it is about the messaging. That, I think, is the messaging for hospitality businesses as you're ramping up, and is what everyone is going to be saying. And the businesses that can tell their prospective customers that message the best are the ones who are going to do well. And I think video would be a great way of doing that. Now, I'm not sure, was that Claire again?
No, it was Sandeep.
Sandeep. Okay, so I mean, Sandeep, if you wanted to get in touch, I'll be more than happy to talk to you about your particular specifics. But at the moment, all I can do is just talk in vague,
Yeah.
vague generalizations. But I think video. I mean, everybody rushed to use video when it came out, but I think going back, even when you're allowed to meet them in person, video is going to be even more crucial for you.
Yeah, I would completely agree. And I remember going back 12 months now, Toes, and I think I've shared this story with you before, but I bought my new house in January 20, well, I moved into January 2020. And, not long before I moved in, we went into lockdown, but I needed a lawnmower. And
Yeah,
I used online retailers video to go through every kind of lawnmower I could find online, just to look at the different specs, the different styles of lawnmower, and use that video content to really help me make my buying decision. And I
yeah.
think well, I'm sure people have been doing that a lot over the last 12 months. And that's a habit that people have got into. So I don't
Yeah.
think people are doing their due diligence. People are doing their research. I don't think that's going to change as we come out of lockdown. I think that shift has now happened, and people will use video a lot more to do their
Yeah.
pre-purchase research, their due diligence, whatever you want to call it, particularly in the product sector, maybe less so in the service sector, but I still think there's a space for testimonials and reviews, but people will do that a lot more online before going and actually
I,
making contact.
I'll give you an example that I think is quite pertinent. Like, there was someone I know who I was trying to speak to about video and talk to them about how important it was, and they were not really getting it. This was back in the days when you could actually go places. So talking about hospitality, talking about service places, and they wanted to go on holiday, and they had all these different places that they looked at, and they found out that they actually just every place that didn't have a video, they just discounted straight off the bat. They just discounted it, and I went, nope, not even going to look at those. They don't have a video. I don't know what I'm going to be getting. So they just didn't even look at those. And then it came down to which video told them more about what they were going to have. This one has something for the kids. This one has the and I think hospitality, as Stephen was saying, people have now been trained to look at video before they go, and people are going to have, or some people are going to have less money, so they're going to want to make sure that the money is spent in a better place. So I think that it's even going to be the case when you talk about something like hospitality or something like services, if there's going to be a video, because that helps people connect to you and feel like they know you better than if they just were looking at words on the screen.
Absolutely great advice there, as always, from your Toes in. I'm conscious we've got about 10 minutes left. Is there anything else you just want to add in terms of how you can support business owners? I can put your contact details back on the screen just so people can see how they can get in contact with you, Toes in. But in terms of what you offer, why would I come to? I mean, you've touched on it a bit, but why would we come to a professional rather than doing it in house? You've talked a lot about how we can, create video. What is it you offer that perhaps you couldn't do yourself as a business owner?
Well, the biggest thing is going to be time, because I think there's going to be an aspect of this, and if it's there is one more thing I wanted to share, Stephen. So I might just take this back in a second.
Oh yes,
but
of course.
Those are my details on it. But the biggest thing I can say is it's going to look slicker if you have it with me, and it's also going to be not only just that, but also the message you're trying to say. I find that business owners are usually terrible. Well, are very often terrible about talking about their own businesses. They are good about doing the whole thing, but my background is in science media production and working with scientists. So that's making documentaries and radio shows about science. Working with scientists, you find that scientists have been working on some research thing for 10 years or something, and they are talking at a level that's up here, and they're talking about everything. Yes, this is what we want to do. I want to make sure that the ribonucleic acid, and most people are talking at a level down here. And a lot of the times, what I had to do was I had to speak to the scientists and ask the questions and help them break it down so that they could make sure that what they were saying was actually meeting the people who they wanted to understand it. Because while they were up here, those people down here would just go, I don't get it. This person isn't for me. Small businesses have exactly the same problem. Most small business owners, when you start speaking to them, they're talking about their business at the level up here, and they're talking about what they offer at the level up here. Most of their customers are down here. And so having somebody like me helps you go, that isn't clear. That isn't making any sense. Let's break this thing down. Let's break this thing down. Okay, now we have a message that is at the level that your customers can understand it. Now they can actually sort of start working on that. So I think it starts off from that level, from the messaging. And then the final product will actually look slicker and actually achieve what it is you're trying to do if you come to somebody like me. And to help with this, there we go. I've been mentioning workshops, and I actually do offer these workshops at the moment. So because even though I know that everybody's feeling happy because we've heard some news that says that we might be able to leave our houses in a couple of months, I still think that it's this. There are some things from this pandemic period that the world that we've been forced into, which are good. One of these things is making your own content or filming your own content, because if you had someone like me coming around, I do offer to come around and film and make content for you. But if you're going to make a lot of these things, it is better if you film it yourself. It is more economic if you film it yourself. And this is me talking myself out of a job, but I think it's better. It's going to be better for your business. So I run these online workshops to teach people how to make their own content. If you go to the website at the top of the page, so tozin.com/workshops, you can see there's a filming workshop and an editing workshop. And it teaches people how to create their own content. We'll have 1-hour sessions. And the idea is to create content that increases sales. If you're a business owner that is looking to increase your online presence, which I think a lot of us, especially with things opening up in the next couple of months, should be looking to do. And I'm looking to, okay, that last bit, just like, the kind of people who I would like to speak to help them. But the online workshops, if you go to that or website, this is something that I'm offering at the moment to help people create content so that they can actually get out there and make more money.
Sounds great. I think it's really important to know that those sort of workshops are out there, Tozin, so people know where they can get the right support. Really important. And absolutely agree. It doesn't take a huge investment, does it, to get that, to take your video to the next level. And as every business owner, or many business owners have turned to video, to imagery, to their websites, it's about how you can stand out. And I love what you said earlier on, Tozin, about somebody in your industry asking the right questions to put out the right information in those films. You've only got, dare I say, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes if it's social media maximum to really grab somebody's attention. If I don't know,
I think 1.5 minutes maximum.
Maximum. So it's about putting out the right information in that short film, isn't it? And that's where it's so important. I know some platforms have only got 1 minute to really pull out the right information. So somebody who's got that knowledge and got that experience to give you that guidance is really important. And I know that's where Tozin can really help add value to your video and to your business. So I'd really recommend, do contact, get in touch with Tozin. And it was tozin.com/workshops that you just referred to.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's been great having you with us, Tozin. I'm going to have a bit of fun now, just because as you were talking, I just had a quick look. So whilst I'm just finishing off, I just want to take you on a bit of a journey with me, Tozin. See if I can grab some more people's attention as I go on a little roller coaster trip, as I'm sure many business owners have been going on a bit of a roller coaster over the last few months, ups and downs in their business. But what I just want to share is, while that's going on in the background, is if you have enjoyed this Lunch and Learn, we are here every Monday and every Wednesday, working with different business owners to talk about how not only they can add value to your business, but also, I need to be doing this, don't I? But also how you can understand and go on that business journey with other business owners. So what they've learned over the last 12 months to really make their business stand out from the crowd. If there's other things we've talked about in this Lunch and Learn, which you think, actually, I don't know about my business, I don't know about maybe finances, or I don't know about how to really get a marketing plan together for my business, we've got some really great support packages and workshops that you might be interested in. The most popular of ours is our 30x Growth Club, which is just £30 a week, including VAT, and you get 30 years worth of business experience, 30 business growth videos of half an hour each, a 90-day planning session, and group coaching, all for £30 a month, and there's no contract. So if you're interested in our 30x Growth Club and want to find out more about how you can grow your business as we restart Birmingham, then please do get in touch. But most of all, as I go on this, I'm going to turn this off now, Tozin. It's turning me into a bit of a, giving me a headache just looking at it. I think a bit too extreme, maybe. There we go. Back to reality. If you are wanting to get in touch with others, myself or Tozin, then please do get in touch with us. Our contact details are on the screen. Indeed, please do reach out to us via Facebook, via LinkedIn, which is what the platforms in which we're broadcasting right now. And we'd love to just have that initial conversation to find out how we can support you to get your business where it needs to be, and to make the most, as I've been saying to all my clients, of this 6-week window now before restrictions, we hope and pray, will really start to ease for all of our benefits, and we can go into the new way of working, not just to compete, but to dominate with the right clarity, focus and energy. And we are here, both Tosin and myself, to help any business owner in Birmingham do that right now. So please do get in touch. But for now, Tosin, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me this Lunch and Learn. It's been great. I know you're back in a few weeks' time to tell us a bit about your business journey, aren't you?
Yeah.
And how you've grown your business throughout the lockdown period, and what your why is. We've touched on it slightly here, but we'd love to hear more about that next time you join us. So look forward to that. But for now, thank you so much, Tosin, for joining us. And to all our listeners, viewers, please do stay well, stay safe. If you're listening to this in delay later on YouTube, on Facebook, please do still ask any questions. We will respond to them and reach out to you. But for now, thank you all. Stay well, stay safe, and we will see you on Wednesday at 12 o'clock.